Entering data into the data editor is similar to entering data into a spreadsheet. One major difference is that the data editor has the concept of observations, which makes the data entry smart. We will illustrate this with an example. It will be useful for you to follow the example at your computer. To work along, you will need to start with an empty data set. Suppose that we have the following data, and we want to enter them into Stata. We do not know MPG for the third car, or the make of the sixth. Start by opening the data editor in edit mode. You can do this either by clicking on the data editor edit button, or by typing edit in the command window. You should be greeted by a data editor with no data displayed. If you see data, type clear in the command window. Stata shows the active cell by highlighting it and displaying var obsnum next to the input box in the cursor location box. The data editor starts, by default, in the first row of the first column. Because there are no data, there are no variable names, and so Stata shows var11 as the active cell. We can enter these data either by working across the rows, observation by observation, or by working down the columns, variable by variable. To enter the data observation by observation, press Tab after entering each value, until you have reached the end of the first row. In our case, we would type VW Rabbit, press Tab, type 4697, press Tab, and continue entering data to complete the first observation. After you are finished with the first observation, select the second cell in the first column, either by clicking within it, or by navigating to it. At this point, your screen should look like this. We can now enter the data for the second observation in the same fashion as the first, with one nice difference. After we enter the last value in the row, pressing the Tab key will bring us to the first cell in the third row. This is possible because the number of variables is known after the first observation has been entered, so Stata knows when it has all the data for an observation. We can enter the rest of the data by pressing the Tab key between entries, simply skipping over missing values by tabbing through them. If we had wanted to enter the data variable by variable, we could have done that by pressing enter between each make of car until all 7 observations were entered, skipping past the missing entry by pressing enter twice. Once the first variable was entered, we would select the first cell in the second column and enter the price data. We would continue this until we were finished. When finished, your screen should look like this.